Hello, Professor. Thank you for joining today. My name is Mohsin Siam, and I'll be presenting on a framework fundamental to cloud security. As organizations expand their use of cloud services, one question becomes critical: who is responsible for keeping our data and systems secure? Today, we will answer that across the three major cloud service models: the IaaS, the PaaS, and SaaS. So what is SRM? SRM is the shared responsibility model that defines exactly where the cloud service providers' security obligations end and where R begins. Think of it like leasing office space. The landlord maintains the building, but what happens inside your office is your responsibility. In the cloud, the provider secures the infrastructure underneath, and we are responsible for what we deploy on top of it. Understanding this boundary is the foundation of any sound cloud security strategy. In IaaS, the CSP owns the physical layer: data centers, servers, networking, hardware, and virtualization. Everything above that is our responsibility: operating systems, application data, and security config. The IaaS gives us the greatest flexibility of any cloud model, but it also carries the heaviest security burden. Any gap in our config is a direct gap in our security. Security service for IaaS. The CSPs provide a strong set of built-in security features. In the IaaS, physically, they operate secure data centers with biometric access, 24/7 surveillance. At the network level, firewall, DDoS protection, and segmentations are standard. Tools like IAM controls resource access, encryption protects data in transit and at rest, and monitoring tools like AWS CloudTrail provides a real-time visibility. CSP maintains certifications like SOC 2 and FedRAMP, give us a solid compliance foundation to build from. Disaster recovery using IaaS. It transforms disaster recovery. Instead of maintaining costly idle backup data centers, we can provision infrastructure on demand within minutes across multiple geographic regions. Automated snapshots continuously protect our data and system states. We can design our recovery strategy around our specific RTO and RPO targets. And because we only pay for what we use, we get enterprise grade DR at fraction of the traditional cost. Now there are some pros and cons to this. IaaS gives us maximum control, eliminates large hardware investment, and supports rapid deployment and strong disaster recovery. However, that control comes with responsibility. We carry the heaviest security burden. Skilled staff are essential because misconfiguration is one of the leading causes of cloud security incidents. Compliance management also largely falls on us. So the IS is powerful but demands technical maturity to use it securely. So in the SRM for PaaS, the responsibility model shift in our favor. The CSP now manages not just infrastructure, but also the operating system. Runtime and middleware are substantial burden lifted off our team. Our responsibility narrows to the applications we build and the data we store. We still own application security and access management, but platform patching and maintenance are handled by the provider, freeing our team to focus on development rather than infrastructure. So PaaS extends security directly into the platform layer. The CSP handles all the patching and vulnerability remediation automatically. Web apps, firewall, and API security protects our applications, while automated threat detection monitors the platform continuously. The SSO and multi-factor authentication and are readily available for identity management. Encryption is managed at both platform and storage level, and built-in compliance support for HIPAA, PCI DSS, and FedRAMP gives a strong baseline before we begin building. The disaster recovery using PaaS. PaaS simplifies disaster recovery considerably because the CSP manages the platform. Much of the DR heavy lifting happens automatically. Built-in failover and load balancing keep applications available during disruptions, while managed database application while database replications keep data synchronized across regions. When an accident occurs, our team focuses on application recovery while the CSP handles everything beneath it, reducing both the complexity and cost of our DR planning significantly. PaaS reduces IT operational burden, accelerates development, and lowers infrastructure costs, and delivers built-in security and compliance from day one. Scalability is seamless as our business grows. On the downside, we give up visibility into how the platform is configured beneath our application. Vendor lock-in is a real risk, and because of the CSP manages more of our environment, data privacy must be carefully evaluated before committing sensitive workloads. In SaaS, responsibility shifts almost entirely to the CSP. They manage the full stack infrastructure, platform, and application. Our responsibility narrows to three things: the data we input, how we manage user access, and how our employees use the application. SaaS is the most hand-off model, but that that simplicity means we have very little visibility into how the app is secured. Trust the CSP's security practices and contractual commitment becomes absolutely critical. SaaS provides delivery that the most comprehensive security package of any cloud model. MFA, SSO, and role-based access control are built-in security patches, are applied automatically, eliminating unpatched vulnerability risk. Encryption in transit and at rest is fully managed by the provider. Audits and activity monitoring gives us visibility into application usage and compliance certifications including SOC 2, the ISO 27001, and the GDPR are maintained by the CSP, significantly reducing our compliance and management burden. So SaaS offers the simplest disaster recovery of all the three models we discussed. The customer has very little to manage directly. So the CSP owns all the DR planning, execution, and testing. Geographic redundancy ensures our data is automatically replicated across regions, and failover happens behind the scenes with minimal disruption to users. We gain enterprise-grade DR with any infrastructure investment. The key focus for leadership is the SLA. It defines the uptime commitment and recovery guarantees we must review carefully before adopting any SaaS platform for mission-critical operations. Um, so SaaS is the fastest to adopt and easiest to manage, but comes with greatest trade-off in control. There is virtually no IT management required. Deployment is instant and subscription pricing keeps budgeting predictable. However, we have the least control over security configuration of any model. Data portability can be difficult, customization is limited, and all sensitive data is stored and managed by the CSP. Vendor trust and thorough contract review are non-negotiable before any SaaS adoption. Okay, to bring everything together, IS gives us maximum control but demands the most from our team. PaaS strikes a balance, offloading platform management while keeping us in control of our application. And SaaS is the most hands-off but requires the greatest trust in our provider. Across all three models, one truth remains consistent, that the shared responsibility model is not something we can ignore. Every cloud deployment carries security obligations on our side. Understanding where our responsibility begins and ends is not just best practice, it is a requirement for protecting our data, meeting compliance obligation, and keeping our business resilient. And these are my references. Thank you, and I welcome any questions. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Bye bye.